Okay, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to Norwich City Council Licensing Subcommittee. It's Tuesday the 7th of February 2023. We have one substantive item today and this afternoon, and that is application for grant of a premises licence for 16 Prince of Wales Road in Norwich. Okay, so I'll introduce myself. I'm Ian Stukeley. I'm the chair today. On my right, I have Councillor Claire Kidman and Councillor Julie Rochek-Colton. To my left, I've got David Lowens from MP Law, who is providing the advice today, and his colleague. Can you remind me your name again? Oliver. We've got Leonie, who's the licensing. The committee officer today, and Rachel, who you know from licensing. Okay, so we'll start with apologies, and again, there were none apologies. Declarations of interest, none of those either. So straight on to item number 3, which is the application of grant of a premises licence, 16 Prince of Wales Road, Norwich NR1 1LB. Rachel, if you'd like to summarise the report and the additional papers, please.
Thank you, Chair. The report is for the application grant of a new premises licence, and the applicant and the proposed DPS is Mr. Chen. The application seeks to allow the licensable activities as described in the application form, which is attached as Appendix A for agenda. There were relevant representations received from the police, but once their conditions have been agreed by the applicant, that no longer stands. So the only outstanding relevant representation was one from a local resident, which is attached to Appendix C. We have had an email from him to say that he won't be attending today. In addition to the report, you've got some late papers. One of those is revised condition from the police concerning CCTV. There was some communications between the police by email, applicant, and a couple of submissions from public protection correspondence.
Okay, thank you. So just to conclude that report, perhaps you could just summarise the options open to us as a committee, please.
The subcommittee could grant the application as asked, modify the conditions of the licence by altering or omitting or adding to them, reject the whole or part of the application, or refuse to accept the proposed DPS.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we've got Mr. Chang.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're the applicant.
Yeah.
Okay, and yourself.
I'm Miranda. I'm here to represent Mr. Chen, my manager here. Yeah.
Okay, welcome to you both. If you'd like to just address the committee, just describe the business that's as proposed, and describe any activities that you've had already, because I understand you've had a few temporary event notices in place. So yes, just please go ahead. If you wouldn't mind using your microphone.
Little in the middle one, yeah.
Do I need to hold
Just
this?
press it down and just hold it. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. So my name is Miranda. I'm here to represent Ms. Chen, my manager. We are a small singing bar where customers can sing, dance and drink. For now, we have 3 booths, each with professional sound equipment. Customer can choose like order wine or just sing without ordering wines. We are not like have a pre-booking systems. Customers can only book in advance, so we can arrange that according to the numbers. And we also provide, not everything is like charge, we also provide free water and food for customers, especially for drunken customers. In the future, we're planning to have provide a multifunctional leisure venue for family, friend reunions, small parties, and like birthday celebrations. Yes, and my manager, Mr. Chen, he's completely took over this business from the October 2022. After he took over this business, he decided to rename the business as a VIP karaoke bar. As you can see on the list and the business insurance we presented, the date on the list and the business insurance can show that when the business started. So,
if it helps, there are papers the councillors don't have. Because if they did have them, we'd have to send them to the objector as well.
I've sent
and put them on the public record. Yes, you did.
Yes.
But they're not in front of the councillors, and therefore we don't have to send such private details to the objector.
Yeah.
In terms of your presentation now, you don't have to reference the in terms of we don't need to have details of the your insurances in order to make in order to make our determination.
Okay,
so
sorry about that.
That's okay. If you skip that bit, that's fine.
Okay, I understand. Okay. So after we trying to take November as our trial operation period, in 11th of November, the police came and said we need a premises license. Mr. Chen confirmed that the former owner provided us a planning permission and said that this is all the document we need if we want to operating a karaoke bar. So Mr. Chen clarified to the police that he did not realize we need a premises license to operate that, and he guaranteed we will apply the premises license immediately. At that night, he submitted the premises license application. The police came to visit us about the application, and they said we could also apply the temporary event notice if we want to operating during this period. So we had three applications for the temporary event notice, which from the 2nd December 2022 to 8 December 2022. The second one is from 16th December 2022 to 22 December 2022, and last one from 31 December 2022 to 6 January 2023. So this is our operation situation, for now.
Okay, thank you. So going through the application, you're proposing to have opening hours until 3 o'clock in the morning, and that is 7 days a week.
Yes.
Is that correct? And did you operate those hours under the 10s as well, under the temporary event notices?
Yes. Under the 10, I think I applied from 12 to 3 a.m. Yes, we operate during this time.
Okay, and during that time, so it sounds like it covered a number of days, probably the maximum you were allowed for the year.
Yes.
And in that time there were a couple of submissions, or one notable submission from the police relating to an individual who was intoxicated, vulnerable female, and we've got a piece of paper that tells us what happened, and some footage that shows that that person was clearly unwell for a while. So for the committee's benefit, can you tell us how you will respond to any situation like that if it arises again, please?
Yes. After that incident happened, City Council officer came to visit and arrange a meeting with us to discuss this incident, and we completely understand how important that we need to prevent these things happening again. It's from our own benefit consideration, because we've invested so much money and effort in the business. We want this business operating smoothly and healthily. So we have decided to have a internal staff handbook for our staff, and with initiative of on how to prevent any hazard from occurring in our business again. And moreover, we have decided to hold monthly staff training session for update our staff handbook and train staff to deal with emergencies based on the potentially threatening activities that recorded in the daily log. So in the daily operation, we also have a daily log to record any potential threatening activities. Recently, we have organized the staff to study the general information of the Licensing Act 2003 and understand the license objectives and the relevant offenses. So in the future, we're gonna take more training sessions to our staff, and we're gonna record with all these potential activities, and moreover, we're gonna have the qualified door supervisor from the security industrial authorities, which they play an important role in reducing the disorder and crimes. So we will closely work with the city council officers and police, follow their suggestions. Yes, which you can see in our correspondence email, we actively cooperating with them. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the staff handbook that's been supplied to members here, and it's quite comprehensive. There's a number of things in here about training and health and safety. Specifically, though, if you encounter a member of the public who appears to be intoxicated to a level where it may become dangerous for them or other people, can you just describe briefly how you will deal with that as an organisation, yes, or how your staff will deal with it and how they will be trained to deal with it, please?
Yes, thank you, Jay. Regarding this issue, police have added some extra conditions which we will strictly apply that conditions in our daily business. We have our CCTV monitors operating every day, and we will ask our staff check the CCTV every 30 minutes, and check the booth in person every 30 minutes as well. If we saw any person drunk excess the limit, or they have any behaviors show that they are vulnerable, we will stop them from drinking anymore, and we will stop selling any more alcohol to them. Yeah, and we will provide free waters with lemon and free fruit as well to the drunk person, so that they can clear their head. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, any questions from members at the moment? Then we'll ask David to cover a couple of details. Yeah, Councillor Kidman, please.
Thank you. Yes, I'm just reading through your staff handbook at the moment, and I'd be grateful if you could guide me to the part. I think I might have found it. Yes, is it the part you're talking about? Is it under 9, safety and healthy, about the what you just told us about staff checking the booth every 30 minutes? Is it? I'm just wondering if I can find that paragraph.
Is that point?
Yeah, I think is it point 5 under number 9?
Number, sorry.
No, no, there isn't a page number. I think it's number 9, safety and healthy.
Safety, healthy.
And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think it's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where you've stipulated that staff should check the booth every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And keep a close eye on CCTV.
Yeah.
Is there anybody going to be checking that that's actually happening?
Yes. We have a duty manager be there every day. Yeah. So the staff in the counter will report everything to the duty managers, and actually they work together. Yeah, it's a small place with just one bar, so they just work together. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Does that answer your question?
I've just got a bit of a follow-up.
Yeah, please do.
One, yes. Obviously, what we've read about and what has been described is an incident where somebody was intoxicated, but the other concern, especially nowadays, is the rise in people being spiked by somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if you have a policy or practice, if you suspect that somebody might not be drunk, but they might have been drugged by person unknown. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. This is another concern we talked with the council officer, and yes, they said that people will be drugged even though they are not drunk. This is another concern. So we will ask. We have talked with our partners, and we will train our staff to check the CCTVs, and as well as we're gonna check when we do the 30 minutes inspections, we will check everything on the table. Yeah, and we will make sure no such suspicions happening. And if suspicions happening, the staff will report to the duty manager, and we have the volunteer assistant contact information, so we will contact them immediately.
Okay, thank you. Will your staff be trained in identifying potential issues that lead up to spiking, so certain behaviours of individuals?
It's the training session for the spiking we haven't related to, but we will keep this one in record, and we're gonna take this one under consideration, and I think in the future we will do some training like this.
Okay, thank you. Are you offering that as a condition to add to your schedule?
It's up to the committee. If you think it's necessary, we'll agree with this.
Well, from the point of view of the committee, what we will do at the end of this process is we'll look at your entire application,
yeah.
and consider it based on what you've offered to us. There are certain conditions that we can impose on you, or if you're willing to take them up yourself, you may offer them to us as additional conditions before we proceed to that decision-making stage.
From our point of view, I think it's necessary. We don't want to say things like that happening, because we want our business be operating like healthily, and we need like not only the income, but we need reputation. So we don't want things like that happening again.
Okay, so from that point of view, does that mean you're offering a staff training on? I believe there are organisations that provide staff training, and Rachel's indicating she can put you in touch with those. So, are you offering a condition that you'll train staff to prevent spiking unrelated?
就是给员工培训那种关于下药，不要让他下药那种培训可以。
Yes, we will offer that training.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Councillor Kidman brought up a very good point there, because it is one of the areas of the city that the City Council has some concern about, and everything all of our licensees can do to prevent it will be helpful. So thank you for that. Okay, any further questions? Okay, in your staff handbook, there wasn't any reference to training for staff for the Challenge 25 process. Is that something that's been missed, and you feel you should add it? I know that it is part of the schedule. Is staff training part of for the Challenge 25 part of the exercise you're going to carry out with new staff members?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll start again with that one.
Sorry.
Let's reference page numbers, probably best. So
Page 20D.
thank you.
Thank you.
So So page 20, page 20E, you've got challenge 25 to be operated at all times. That's part of your operating schedule, and that's something that will form a condition for your operating licence. But you've not included that as part of your handbook. Is that something that you've just missed out from your handbook? Do you intend to have that in your handbook?
It's just like it's not a final handbook.
Okay.
It's like a draft handbook, and we will update everything we can consider right now for now.
Yeah.
And we will update our handbook. Yeah.
Okay, that's understood and noted by the committee. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, so regarding the hours of the business, you're proposing to open at 12 midday and close at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're also proposing to provide alcohol to match those times and late night refreshment from 11 till 3 in the morning. Okay, so can you describe how you will ensure that people leave by 3 o'clock if they're able to buy alcohol at 3 o'clock?
Normally we stop selling alcohol at 2:30, and we are pre-booking, and normally we ask people come before 10. If people want to come like after 10, from 10 to 12, we will consider the situation, like how many people they are, and if they are drunk or they have the pre-drink or something. If everything's fine, we will serve between 10 to 12, but we will make sure they understand our closing time will be 3 a.m. and we're gonna stop selling any alcohol at 2:30, and so after 12, people cannot. We don't take any booking after 12.
Okay, so people can't turn up late after 12 o'clock without having a booking.
Yes.
Okay.
离都不接受的，就有时候也会来，但是我们不会invite他很多。
Okay, and my manager is like add some extra, like if people come after 12, we will consider, but we won't sell any much more alcohol to them. We will control the sale of alcohol. But some people they will tell me when they're booking, they said we don't want alcohol, we just sing along. It's just a sing along service. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So with regard to the supply of alcohol, quite often premises have drinking up times, so they stagger the supply of alcohol earlier than the closing time of the business. Given what you've said about a 2:30 cut-off point, would you like to therefore offer that 2:30 cut-off point for the supply of alcohol? So that there's a half an hour period before people are asked to leave the premises.
So the premises license will show it's between 12 to 2:30, or just another added condition?
The license, so your license will show that the supply of alcohol will be 12 to 2:30, and the operating hours of the license will be from 12 until 3.
Yes, we agree with this.
Okay, it's something that I've suggested that you may wish to offer, and it's entirely up to you, because we will consider the application based on what you've offered to us. So we're not asking you to make changes now. We have an opportunity to do that later. But
actually, Chair, it would be helpful if this particular change was made now as offered rather than imposed later, as there's a different framework.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but it has been offered. I'm just explaining that we haven't asked for it because we haven't made a determination yet.
So on page 16 of the papers, you'll see that's got the original application for supply.
Yeah.
So what we'll now do is, instead of 0300 hours, going to insert 0230 on all those boxes.
那你已经说了，是没办法，就是我们那3点的客人，有卖到2点半，是吧？就是卖酒是卖到2点。
Sorry. Yes, yes, we understand. Yeah.
Okay.
Make that change.
Thank you.
Right, okay. So my next question is about the late night refreshment, and again you've got 3 o'clock. What kind of late night refreshment will you be supplying?
Actually, we don't provide later refreshment now. We add this is only because the council officer suggested we could add this one in case we provide any late refreshment in the future. So for now,
Okay.
we don't provide any late
Okay.
refreshment. But maybe we think about like provide some coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would need a license for that
Yes,
after
yes.
11 o'clock. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So again, do you wish to roll back closing or the last times for the late night refreshment to 2:30 to match the supply of alcohol?
Isn't it? Because I think refreshment is.
Okay. Will you be supplying coffee to people at 1 minute to 3 and then be asking them to leave at 3?
Sorry.
但是如果我们卖咖啡的话，我们要不要也选到2点半？
不用，我们就不卖，你
现在不是说卖完，这个要没有的话，可以。
可以。
Yes, yes. Okay, we can agree on this because
Okay.
we don't provide any coffee for now, but it's
Okay.
it's not a big deal.
Okay. It sounds it's a technical point really, rather than a real requirement, and it's entirely up to you to determine whether you want to have that as part of your application. But from a practical point of view, it may be easier to stop serving
Yes.
half an hour before you close,
Yes.
so that people have enough
Yeah,
time to eat or
understand.
drink.
Okay.
So if you're happy to
Yeah.
submit that, we'll take that
That makes sense
as an
because
offer.
we need half an hour to give a final reminder. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Chair, so on page 15 of the agenda, instead of 0300 hours, I'm just writing down 0230
Okay. Thank you.
on those boxes.
15 is the standard days and timing.
Yes, that's for
It's for
Oh, great.
there you
Thank
go, over the page.
the page is rolled over from.
Thank you.
Apologies, yeah. Page 15 really is where it is.
Oh, thank you.
So supply of alcohol we have done, and closing times you're proposing 12 till 3, 7 days a week.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so that forms your application. Is there anything else that you'd like to cover, David? Operating
I think you
schedule.
probably grabbed most of it, Chair. Here we go. Which is how it should be.
The operating schedule starts on page 19. So if we could just run through that and any.
Yeah, thanks. There were a couple of items.
Yeah.
So if you look at page 20
Yeah.
of the agenda, there's a small confusion between the staff handbook.
Mm-hmm.
On the staff handbook, it's the paragraph 9, staff obligations, CCTV footage must be kept for at least 30 days.
Yeah.
On the application page 20, it's 31 days. Just need consistency between the two.
Oh, 31. Sorry.
31
We will
on
update
both.
31 days. Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks.
这上面写的是30天，我的员工手册写的30，这上面31天，这上面写的30天，说改成31天。
Anything else, David? Anything to?
Just to confirm,
他
That's what I think it's Michael.
他那个是制度，我们设置不了。
Sorry, Chair. My manager should state that the record is automatically stored kept for 1 month.
So I'm not sure 30 day or 31.
Right.
Yeah.
It honestly makes no odds. It looks odd if there's two different numbers. I think there's going to be no issue taken whether it's 30 or 31.
Okay,
Just one says 30, one says 31.
Sometimes we have 28.
They need to say the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We say
Yeah.
30.
30, right.
Change a month.
Months as they vary, I think you're safer saying 30 days, at least
Yeah.
that's clear.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll do 30 days to both.
We have the conditions that have been asked for by the police that you've agreed to. So that is there's a submission there that are 7 of those that will be added to your operating schedule.
On page 20, you're very sensibly taking out meets police guidelines,
Okay.
as that's uncertain.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a karaoke bar, so it's a sensible question regarding the prevention of public nuisance. Environmental health haven't said anything, but what noise controls do you have?
We have to do the soundproof test, and we have done every soundproof facilities, and it's like we don't have any residents live nearby, and we don't have any people live upstairs. It's like commercial area, and the council came to pay visit, and they don't have any concern about the noisy or something like this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So from prevention of public nuisance point of view, there doesn't need to be a offered condition there.
No, there doesn't seem to be the need for it.
It's just we haven't had a submission from public health.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You've put down to comply with any requirements of the fire authority noted, and that will go into any operating schedule if you're successful in the application. It means exactly what it says, which is if the fire service asks you for anything, it will be provided.
You mean fire assessment, fire safety assessment?
Yes, indeed, and anything that may arise from it.
Yeah, we have submitted that one 1 week before, and Aston sent me an email regarding several uncertain issues. I have made clarification about that, and I haven't heard from him, Aston again. So if he raised some new issues, we will fix that. And thank you.
It's just to make sure you're aware of what you're signing up to, which
Yeah.
in this case is a blank cheque to the Norfolk Fire and Rescue Service. So long as you're happy, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Chair, I don't think there is anything.
They don't tend to be over onerous, do they? I think. Okay. Any questions from councillors about the?
I've just got.
Please go ahead.
Thanks. It's just some clarification on door supervision, because I'm thinking about, obviously you want to prevent people who are intoxicated coming in, but also once people are inside to protect all the customers and yourselves. Will there be is there door supervision every time, and from what hours, and how will you ensure, if you want door supervision for yours and customer safety, that there will definitely be somebody there to protect everybody?
Okay.
对，就是每次就是我们有人不平，然后我们就会打电话去跟他那个预定到。我们一般看客人玩到什么时间段，我们再决定。他就是保安跟那个时间段一起。
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
We will have the door supervisor every time if customer have a booking, and it depends how long. It depends how many hours customer have booking. Yeah, and we have our the door supervisor firm, the security firm, to provide us qualified door supervisor. Every time the council suggests that we only need one door supervisor, that's enough. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other items? I'm just looking through the additional papers that were sent to see if there's anything that we've missed. And I think
Just a bit of clarification, Chair. At the
Yeah.
moment, there's page 20 of the agenda, minimum one SAA door supervisor, 10 p.m. until close. So on the question of when is the SAA door supervisor there, there's an obligation to be from 2200 hours, but not before.
Obligation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Page
So-
20 of the agenda.
So that's page 20. B, prevention of crime and disorder. The last part of that, there will be a minimum of one SIA door supervisor,
Yeah.
10 p.m. until close. Okay, and you've described how, if you need more than one, the criteria for that will be based on numbers of people. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the overall capacity of your venue, please?
For now, each room like maximum 10. We can accommodate 10 people each room. So maximum 13 people.
Maximum of
13.
30.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
1-3, I think.
Sorry, 30.
Oh, 3-0, my
Yeah,
apologies.
sorry.
And that matches with one of the items here, the fire risk assessment element there. Okay, thank you for that. And I think so. We've got the conditions from the police that have been requested and accepted. Therefore, they withdrew any submissions of their own. The staff handbook that you've described as a draft and will be updated
Yes.
with things we've discussed today and as you go. Okay. So, and the plan that we have, it's a good, clear plan, and this is, we've got a first floor on page 27, and the second floor on page 28. Okay, so can you describe what activities will take place on both of these levels, please? So starting with the first floor.
Yeah. For now, we only have first floor to operating,
Okay.
and we have 3 rooms. As you can see, V1, V2, and V3.
Yep.
This is a karaoke booth which customers can have their parties and drink and sing and dance.
Yep.
For them. And for the second plans, this is submitted because we are planning to do some renovation in the future. So the council suggested we should add this one, so we don't need to like change our premises license in the future. Yeah. So for now, this one is like vacant. This floor is like vacant.
Okay, so the we have to consider this as if this is operational. So can you describe what activities will take place on this level, and again the numbers of patrons, please?
Okay. So sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time.
哪个这些房间都是那个吧？
都是正在购买，就是
Oh, thank you, Chair. So the second floor, we have a V201 room and a V202 room. One is a bigger and one is a smaller room. This 2 room is a karaoke booth, and we will provide the same service like downstairs. We have a singing, we have a sound equipment, and people can drink, singing in this booth. And
那我们酒在哪里买？在楼下。
And we only have one bar in the first floor. We won't have any bar in the second floor. So this is just the 2 rooms
Okay.
in the second floor.
And is Access to alcohol, is that a table service or will people access the bar?
It's table
Table
service.
service. Okay, thank you. So the numbers on the second floor will be similar to the first floor per booth, 10 per booth, or different?
这个是不是大一点的，让大的人多一点？
这个可以坐15个人，这个可以10个人。
Thank you, Chair. The V201 room can accommodate 15 people, and the V202 room can accommodate 10 people.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
25 on the second
Yes.
floor, 30 on the first floor.
Yes.
Okay, so that gives us a more complete picture of the application that we're determining. Okay, any more questions from councillors? No? David?
No, thank you.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say to the committee before we make our decision?
We just want to say, like, we completely understand how important to cooperate with the council, and it's first time we've been step in such kind of business, so we might encounter some unexpected circumstances and a bit of resistance, but we have a lot of confidence, like, to operate in such business smoothly and healthily. Our staff will try our best to run a business in compliance with the law and the government regulations. So we have every reason to believe we can have a permissive license and we can run in such business. Thank you, committee. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So what we'll do now is ask you to leave. We'll take 10 or 15 minutes to discuss the application and then ask you to come back in. So the time now is 3:50. So we'll say not earlier than 4 o'clock, although it may be a little bit later.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, welcome back to Norwich City Council Licensing Subcommittee in the afternoon of Tuesday, the 7th of February 2023. The committee has made a determination on the application for grant of the premises licence for 16 Prince of Wales Road, and the determination is that we will grant the licence as presented, and with the conditions that have been offered, and David will outline those now in some detail and describe the appeal process. David.
Thank you, Chair. So, granted, as you've heard, the committee has considered the papers and the evidence before it. It doesn't find there's evidence to support the view given by the objector of blatantly choosing to disregard the law. There may be some misinformation from the individual who held the licence previously. There's no evidence regarding before committee as to nuisance or excess intoxication will be the result of granting the application. The operating schedule as amended is appreciated, it appears to be sufficient, and the comments of the police have been taken into account. The police are the prime source of guidance to this committee regarding the crime and disorder licensing objective, and the fact that they are happy with the proposal, with the additional conditions added, has been given weight by committee. There's no concern regarding noise by the public protection team, also given weight by committee regarding the public nuisance licensing objective. The hours are felt to be reasonable for this location. There is soundproofing, and no concern regarding noise leakage has been raised before committee. The committee has taken account of the incident of the intoxicated customer, clearly unacceptable, but it's happy procedures are in place to avoid a reoccurrence of this. You offered conditions. Staff will be trained to prevent the spiking of drinks of customers, and the training is to be recorded in writing, please, so it's clear who's been trained, when, and so on.
Yes.
Challenge 25 is to be added to the staff handbook, and I think we agreed on 30 days for CCTV retention rather than 31.
Yes.
There are rights of appeal. The individual who wrote in is entitled to take this matter to the Magistrates' Court if they wish to do so within 21 days of receipt of written notification. The committee has granted what was asked for and has not imposed conditions on yourselves, and therefore we would not expect you to have the right to appeal.
Thank you, David. Should we also cover the offered change in timings for the
Chair,
premises?
Timings as amended. In respect of the supply of alcohol, on all days, you reduce the hours sought to be from 12 midday to 02:30 hours on all days. And in respect of the late night refreshment, you amended the application to be from 2300 hours to 02:30 the following morning, again on all days.
Okay, thank you. I think that covers everything. If you have any questions, now's a good time to ask, or feel free to ask Rachel after the committee. Rachel will supply you with information about how to gain training on the spiking. The committee considers that to be a really important element, so we're very pleased that you offered that as part of the training process. So we'll call the meeting to a close and wish you well with